government and the organized labor that price of petrol will not be increased further. He is describing it as a betrayal and calling for total reversal, even indicating that going forward, Labour will state its action towards states. And just within this time, the much talked about Dangote refinery announced commencement of production of petrol yesterday. How are Nigerians receiving all this? And how are the economic realities defining it? What can the government do more to tackle this situation that has befallen citizens? We shall try to dive into some of these issues or perspectives. I have been joined here in the studio by an economist who is a former general manager, audit and control, BIPC, that's Benue Investment and Property Company, Mr. Amity Ijo. Welcome to Perspectives, sir.
Thank you and welcome too.
All right, and later on we'll be joined virtually from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, by a public affairs commentator and an economist analyst, Mr. Jide Ojo, who will also weigh in on the discussion. If you are tuning in for the first time, be informed that Perspectives is audience participatory, broadcast between now and 11 a.m. And at 10 o'clock, we allow you to call in to also make your voices heard and share your thoughts with us. You can do so by calling us on 0814-335-9292. 0814-335-9292. You may send us an SMS to 0912-699-9404. 0912-699-9404. You can also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store. You may also listen to us through our website, and we are on Radio Garden and social media platforms as well. Mr. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Nigerians have come with are coming to grapple with a new challenge of petrol price and hike of it, which has gone up beyond the earlier rate for which the pump price was selling, above 1,000 and within that range. How did you receive this situation as an economist?
The moment the petrol price was announced yesterday from 650 to 855, the streets in Makurdi were deserted. Most houses, it looked as if they were bereaved, as if somebody have died in their neighborhood or in their family. The situation is pathetic and terrible because of the challenges that are coming with the increase in fuel. You see, just as the Labour have said, the agreement is that if there is minimum wage increase to 70,000, there will be no further increase in fuel. Meanwhile, the 70,000 minimum wage has not been paid to any labor or any worker, and the price of fuel was increased. It is very difficult because it is from fuel that you transport all the goods and services to various locations and destinations. We don't have security, so our farmers are not working, they are not going to farm, there is no food. The little that they have cannot be moved to where it is needed. There is hunger in the land and everybody is in difficulty. There is no one that can say he is exempted in this situation. It is really a bad situation. It may be a policy that may be better or may bring Nigeria to a good position later on, but the effects from now in this moment are terrible to bear, because I don't know how we can survive until Nigeria is better. The question is that for this 1 year that fuel subsidy has been removed, there was a difference in price between the old amount paid and the old amount subsidized by the government and the new amount paid by the consumer, the public, that difference in money, where has it been going? The expectation is that it would have been used to do other things that will bring succor to the um, to the public, but nothing like that has been seen. We have been hearing only. For instance, if you talk of palliative, you talk of cash transfer, you talk of student loan, there are different things that they agreed to put in place to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal, but none has been effective so far as one can see. For instance, for this 1 year, I don't think of any place where students have said that they have collected their loan. The cash transfer, if it's happening, it is not to the majority. The issue of palliative, you can see palliative, if you are in Benue State, palliative in terms of fertilizer, in terms of rice, in terms of food items, they are channeled to members of the party in power. And members of the party in power are not the only people that are living in Nigeria. It is possible that that is done so that the opposition will be silenced. But the question is, what of the people that were not in any party? They didn't campaign, they were apolitical, and they are Nigerians, and they don't have the opportunity of receiving these palliatives. What is happening to them as Nigerians? Things are really difficult. Just as the organized labor and union CSOs are clamoring, the government have to step up the method of cushioning the fuel subsidy removal so that we can survive as a country.
Okay, one would have expected that the removal of fuel subsidy in itself was intended to cushion the plight of citizens, because government justified it as a policy that was desirable. But with the removal of the fuel subsidy, prices are going up, and as at yesterday, the product was being sold at about 1,000 naira, even including some filling stations, and even the scarcity of it. Is there any desirability why the government should have removed the subsidy in the first place?
In the first place, the government stated that the subsidy that they were paying was not going to the right place, that the marketers were cheating on government in excess, the taxpayers' money was going to a wrong place, and that if it is removed, there will be free movement of fuel. Many things will happen, and that they will use that difference of money to do other things like roads, like security, like so many things they will do with the difference in money. And many people were in support of that. The problem now is that all the things that they promised, none is being done, and people are not happy.
Okay, now with the prices going up, yesterday the Dangote refinery announced commencement of production, and in a swift reaction to that, there are also allegations that the NNPC is saying it will be the sole buyer of the petrol that Dangote is producing. Will Dangote alone serve Nigerians, and why is the NNPC being insistent on being the sole buyer of the petrol he's producing?
There is a situation that we have to understand. Dangote is operating from a free trade zone. A free trade zone, even though it's located in Nigeria, is demarcated and operated as if it were a separate country, meaning that the independent marketers, if they want to approach Dangote to buy product, they are going to pay as if they were paying to a foreign country. Meaning also that it is only NNPCL that is able to transact as they were doing before, from buying from other countries to Nigeria. Except there is a change in policy, they are truly the only people that can buy. And that means there is still that monopoly that they had. The monopoly will continue. So the next thing that one will say is that there will be need to change that policy if the marketers will buy and sell, so that it will be available. And there's something for us to know too, that Dangote is a businessman. He's operating for profit. It is not a charity house. It is likely that Dangote will be happy that there is that hike in price, so that he will benefit maximally from his investment. Except if the way he is talking, and you can hear the way he is talking, he still say that it is NNPC that will buy. He still say that the price will be determined by the government. Is it government that is supposed to determine the price of Dangote product? It is supposed to be free on the market for people to price, but you can see it is not free on the market for people to price like that. So the hope that we have is that the product will be more available. It is not because that Dangote may bring price down consciously, knowing that he's a businessman.
Okay, another disturbing situation is the scarcity of the products. Even with the prices going up, there seems to be scarcity, as long queues are already surfacing in almost every part of the country, including here in Makudi. Could there be an artificial scarcity that is being created by the marketers?
If you listen to the NNPCL MD, you will know that Nigeria is in trouble. He came out to say that the NNPC Limited made profit of 3 trillion, but they are in debt. They have indebtedness of $6.7 billion that they are not able to pay. NNPC is like the sole business of Nigeria. It is like the banker, the everything of Nigeria. The announcement is to tell you that they are broke. If they are broke, the product will be scarce because they cannot buy. And if they cannot buy, it will not come here because we are not subsidizing the independent marketers again. So we are truly in problem. There is a need for urgency in attending to the economic situation of Nigeria presently.
All right. Now let's look at the direction of the NLC. That's the Nigeria Labour Congress. The statement by the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress that it is a betrayal. They accepted the 70,000 naira minimum wage on the basis that petrol prices were not going to be increased. Again, that's a pump price. With this increase, is the government sincere in what it entered into as an agreement between them and the Labour Congress?
From the beginning of the subsidy removal to the dealing with the Labour executive, to whatever is happening, the government does not appear to be sincere with what it is doing. For instance, if a responsible government is coming to remove the fuel subsidy, the items that they are discussing for cushioning of the effect would have been put in place, or so that the day you are announcing the removal of the fuel subsidy, you are also going to announce the implementation of these things that you have put in place. But they just came on air on the first day of forming the government that the subsidy is removed, and it has been removed completely. Nothing will be done again. And then people went on rampage. They cried to God and to man, and the Labour came with their demand for wage increase. Then it's like they were also deceived that there will be no further increment in the fuel price. So let their own salary also remain at a minimum of 70,000 per person, including private workers. Unfortunately, that money has not been paid, as I said earlier, and then you move the price again to 855 officially. You see, when you talk of 855 officially, as we are here in Makurdi now, this is the state capital. They are selling at 1,000, even some places more than 1,000. Do you know that if you also have to transport further from here to other rural areas like my own village, the fuel price will be going to something like 1,500 to 1,600. So if you look at everything, you have to agree with the Labour that they were or we have been deceived all this while.
All right, dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makurdi. We are discussing the hike in petrol prices and its scarcity that has befallen the country. I have leading the discussion here in the studio an economist who is a former general manager, audit and control with BIPC, Mr. Amity Ijo. And you can participate later at 10 o'clock by calling in on 0814-335-9292, 0814-335-9292. In the meantime, the line for SMS is already available for you to send in an SMS or a chat to WhatsApp. That line is 0912-699-9404, 0912-699-9404. Please remember to include your name and where you are sending your message from. You can also listen to us by logging onto our website on www.agateradiotv.com. You may download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store to listen to us, and also we're available on Radio Garden and social media platforms to serve you. Okay, Mr. Ijo, the economic realities with the hike in petrol prices and its scarcity, especially coming at a time we are already in the what is popularly referred to as Ember Months. We're approaching the festive season. Could it worsen when we get to the main festive season with the hike and scarcity of the products being experienced now?
I am not a pessimist, but if you look at the environment and all scenarios, it will be worse than we have been. That is my thinking. Do you know why? The things that will change the reality are not coming to happen yet. As at yesterday, from Nasarawa, somewhere in Benue, in different places, you are still hearing of kidnapping of people. As at yesterday, it was announced that in Maiduguri, 34 people were butchered, murdered, killed, and they were burying them yesterday. If situations like that continue, how will our farmers go to harvest if they have done anything? That is, if they have planted anything, how can they go to harvest? What that says that the security is not guaranteed for you to go anywhere, and therefore you are not contributing to anything that is sustaining life. And if you are not contributing to anything that is sustaining life, you are sitting down and you want to eat, and the government is not doing anything to provide. Even people in situation of war, you can see, like maybe you look at Gaza and Israel. The world is trying to supply food to Gaza every day. Here we are not at war, but the number of people dying are more than the people that are dying in places where they are fighting war, and nobody is trying to supply food to us. So we are not eating well. Most people are dying of hunger. They are dying in the hands of bandits and terrorists, or whatever you will call them. They are also dying from the inability of government to provide what is needed for livelihood. People who are working have not been paid the amount of money that they will be able to feed, clothe their children, like transport. Because if a tank that is maybe 80 or 90 liters, if you are selling at buying at 1,200, an 80-liter tank will be 96,000. So that 96,000, meanwhile your salary is 70,000. So if you use that money to full your tank for today, what are you going to use for all these other things that are surrounding life that we are going to improve? I don't think there is improvement in the near future, except the difference in fuel subsidy amount that they have removed to cushion the problem of the economy. Things will be worse.
Okay, and another aspect is governments upon governments have been talking about reviving our refineries, which has not seen light of day. And with the coming of the Dangote refinery with the capacity to produce 650,000 barrels per day of oil, would that fill the gap to supply what Nigerians need to consume as petrol?
The refineries they have been talking of reviving all this year, I think if you look at the history, some were there before some of us were born. Like those that were born in the 80s, in fact from 70s up to now, they have not witnessed any new building of any refinery. So those old ones that they built during the war or the one after the war, are they the one they are talking of reviving, the building, reworking, all this while? If they are the one, you know that they cannot be, it won't be feasible for them to work well. And that is why each time they discuss it, they will discuss, and you hear last year, you hear the next year, and nothing is happening. If we are going to build, just as Dangote have done, it is to build good new refineries. But you ask whether there will be a change or there will be difference because of Dangote coming in. Let us be hopeful. Let us believe in God that Dangote will be able to do something that will help Nigeria in the sense that, one, he's a Nigerian. Two, he's seen our plight. Three, even though the free trade zone is a separate zone, isolated or segregated for business alone, he will still use it as if he were in Nigeria. The good thing is that he has agreed that they will buy products not in dollar, with naira. That will help to reduce the tension on the value of the naira compared with dollar. That is one thing. Second thing is that it will be easier to transport here, meaning that if you are importing from the free trade zone to Nigeria as a country, the cost of transport will be cheaper than when you are importing from far away Malta and other places where they used to import fuel from. So that too is a credit to Dangote's refinery, and it will make the situation to be better. Let's be hopeful that between now and Christmas, Dangote flood the market with fuel, and then Nigeria may smile again.
But in all of this, the independent petroleum marketers said they have not received any notice of what price the Dangote refinery is looking at their fixing. And if you compare that with what NNPC at the moment is dispensing 855 naira per liter of the product and even 915 naira. Is there any reason why Dangote refinery should delay in announcing at what price it will be selling its products to Nigerians?
As I told you earlier, Dangote is a businessman. You see what happened recently to cement. Both BOA and Dangote, their prices were going up. Cement was in this year went to 10,000. In fact, at some places, 12,000 naira per bag. Then something happened. BOA came out with a policy of reducing the price of cement. They even said they were going to sell at 3,500. Then the price came down to 8,000, came down to 7,000. I think now is between 6,000 and 7,000. Dangote too is selling like that. When there is a hope of competition, price normally will come down. There should be a way where independent marketers will be able to compete with NNPCL in buying direct from Dangote before the hope that we are having will be materialized. Because if that doesn't happen, it will still be the same way, because if it's only NNPCL that is bringing fuel and they fix the price, how can you sell below it? Because they are going to distribute to your depot, and when they distribute to your station, they will distribute at their price. Then you cannot sell below that price, and the public will buy at the price that they can receive it at. But if everybody or independent marketer and NNPC are able to buy direct from Dangote, we can thank God that Nigeria will be better for what Dangote has brought.
But the fear of many Nigerians is that if it is actually the NNPCL that is lifting the product from the Dangote refinery at the moment, and with the current rate at which the NNPCL stations are dispensing 855 naira and even 900, close to 1,000 thereabout, would that still meet the satisfaction of Nigerians? Because the hike is still there.
The fear is very genuine. That is why you see everybody is crying. I told you when they made that announcement yesterday, you can count the vehicles that were on road. In fact, most vehicles that were on road maybe belong to government. Individuals, most of them decided to park their vehicles, and this morning go to the street. You see people dust their old bicycles. They are refurbishing them and making bicycles ready to go to different places with bicycle. But the question is, how much load will a bicycle carry, and how far can it go? For instance, a tuber of yam is between 1,500 to 2,000 in Makurdi now, but it's between 700 to 1,000 at my local government, Oju. The question is, before you travel to Oju now, it will take you more than 4 hours going to 5, a journey that used to be 1 hour 20 minutes. One, the roads are bad, as if they are farther than before now, and to get a vehicle that will bring the load from there to this place so that you can get it cheaper, you need fuel, and that is what you need everywhere in Nigeria, fuel to go about your activities. So the moment that thing is high, Every place is high. Interest rate, everything will go up except something happen urgently. So I agree with them that the hope is very dim for us to sustain the country with this policy.
And where is the hope of the common man? Because the the Labour Congress, the Labour Congress did and describe this as betrayal of trust. Even the new minimum wage is yet to be implemented in most states, but the prices have already gone up of the petrol. How will the common people who are not even workers cope with the situation?
It is difficult for anybody in Nigeria now to cope. See, the common man who is not dependent on government depends on the money that is coming to pay the government worker. He depends on that person because that person is not going to the farm, he's not going to the market, he's not selling, he's not farming. So when he collects his money, he needs food, so he will go and buy it. He will need different things that these other people are doing, so he will buy it. But he now, what we are saying is that he doesn't have. So nobody has. We are all maybe dependent on God now, and it is rare for God to send manna. In fact, when God was sending manna in the Bible, when manna came until they reached the promised land, the Bible said that on the day they ate of the fruit of the promised land, manna stopped. So no manna anywhere for anybody for anything now, and there is nothing. So you see, it is likely that the rate of terror may increase. The rate of hunger will increase. Insecurity will increase. Dropout from school will increase. So many things that you are not expecting will be influenced by this damage on fuel price. Yesterday, some people, the government, they were arguing that the neighboring countries, their prices are higher than our own, and because of that, if they don't hike our price, people will smuggle our fuel to the neighboring countries. The first question is that, is petrol the major product of those neighboring countries? Petrol is our major product, is our sustenance, is our everything. So if we hike the price of petrol to be equivalent with those of neighboring country, who some are depending on agriculture like tea, Kenya, some are depending on other type of minerals, some are depending on even fishing. Come to Benue, this river that you see, River Benue, from where it is going to join River Niger, are you seeing people fishing there? There are no fishes in our river. In other places, you will see boats plying the bank of the river. For instance, if you go to Wadata River, Wadata, you will see people bringing fresh fish from the street, from the river to the market. Are you seeing that? Go there. Are you seeing it like that in Benue? No, there are no fishes to fish there. So there are all the things that we depend, everything we depend on. In Nigeria, it is this fuel, and then we want to sell like they are buying in other places. How can we survive?
That is really the question to wonder about. But again, in all of this, what are the immediate measures that government? Because already as at yesterday, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Henry Lokpobiri, Heineken rather, Lokpobiri, came out to deny that the government did not instruct the NNPCL to increase prices of the product. That NNPCL is an independent entity operating. So did NNPCL gauge the feelings of Nigerians, what they are passing through before uh, coming up with a fresh hike in the prices as it were before?
From 1999 to date, the Nigerian president doubles as the Minister of Petroleum, in extension, NNPCL. So if you come to say that the government did not direct that the price is increased, and the populace wake up and go to the filling station, service station, and the price is increased, and nobody is stopping them, how will you, when will you know that? I mean, when will you know where the truth is coming from? The truth is that it has been increased. If you didn't say you should increase and they increase, you should have a way of stopping them. Then you will not. The public will know. Okay, you didn't instruct them. That is why you are stopping them. But they are not stopping them. They are selling at that price. So the denial is meaningless. This is the government action. Now, when we talk of that policy itself, it is difficult to say that the policy of subsidy removal is bad. It is not subsidy removal that is bad. It is the handling of the subsidy removal. When we were campaigning in 2002, 2003 for election that this government has used to come into power, all the presidential candidates, Peter Obi, where some of us were, Atiku, and Tinubu, all of them are promised to remove the subsidy of fuel completely. So it is not the removal that is the problem, but some of them have plans of what to do before the removal will take place. This one, our problem is that there hasn't been any plan, and even the plan that they brought after the removal, they are not been executed. Nothing is happening to reduce the suffering of the people. The government, see, why we have government is to provide, one, security, so that people don't kill themselves anyhow. In Nigeria now, they can wake up and kill you anyhow, and nothing will happen. So if nothing is happening from government to stop somebody from killing another person, there is a big problem. That alone is enough to consume people. Then you now also bring a policy that will send down, or that will fuel the pains of the people. It is addition. So where is our survivor coming from? I agree with Labour, I agree with the CSO, I agree with people on the street that the execution of the policy is terribly bad.
Do you see government having a reversal of this policy?
I don't think so. The reversal of this particular policy is not to the advantage of government or the people. It is the implementation of the cushioning effect that will be useful. One, the money that you are reducing or you are removing from subsidy, use it to enhance the salary of workers. Use it to pay welfare cash transfer to the populace, and not segregated cash transfer. Cash transfer to citizens, not to party faithful. Use it to construct roads, create employment. Use it to make our hospitals better. See, in places where they are fighting war, where they are destroying houses, properties. I saw a hospital there in a picture, like in Gaza. I saw clean, neat place where you can breathe air. come to hospitals in Nigeria, you cannot breathe air. And so when they are sick, they rush to Saudi, they rush to Germany. We that are not in position to rush anywhere, we are languishing in these places. The government should think of such places. These are the things I think they should do. I don't think that they will go back to subsidize fuel. I think they should use the surplus from the fuel subsidy, which they are not paying again, to do the essential things of government.
All right. This government also announced that as part of the policies to alleviate the plight of citizens for the removal of fuel subsidy, they would make available CNG powered buses to states. Will that serve for transport? Will it cushion the plight in a way that is desirable?
When they remove subsidy, let's take Benue for example. They announced that they have brought 1,000 buses to Benue Links, refurbished and new. At the time fuel subsidy was removed, that first time, price of vehicle from Makurdi to Abuja was 4,500. Now, as at Thursday or is it Friday, the price is 7,000. As at yesterday, if you go there, I went because my son was traveling to Abuja, is 8,000 for small car and 7,500 for the big one. The question is, what is the effect of these vehicles that they have bought? The vehicles aren't a major problem. The fueling of the vehicle is a big problem. So one may ask that maybe if they didn't buy the vehicles, maybe it may be worse than it is now. But then, if you look at the situation, if you are moving in transport from 4,500 to 8,900 to go from here to Abuja, meanwhile, you that is traveling, your salary has not increased, your farm products have depreciated because of other problems, and there's nothing that is bringing any new income to you, then that what they have done will not make a change in your life. Your food will not increase.
Okay. Fuel prices of petrol are tied to almost every sector of the economy. The general impact of this on the cost of living for citizens, how can the government cushion it now that the prices are being increased the more beyond the way they were?
The answer that I have in this is not different from the one I gave previously, that if we are going to cushion it, the government, the things that they are planning to use, you have been hearing palliative since 4 months ago or more than that, but nobody's life has been changed because of palliative. One problem self is that those people who are distributing palliative, they also need palliative. It's like you are giving one big bone to one dog, you should go and give to another dog. In most cases, it doesn't reach there. And even where it reach now, it is the channel that it is moving directed it to specific group of people in the country. Meanwhile, the effect of fuel subsidy removal is on everybody in the country. If you have 10 people and 3 are from APC, the remaining 7 people are going to the same market. So if you go and give palliative rice or fertilizer or whatever to these 3 people, what happens to the 7? So the channel of distribution should be changed. That is one. Two, the items of distribution should be changed. Money can exchange for everything in the market. So if you bring rice specifically to everybody, the person who already have rice and is looking for beans and yam and meat, the rice will be useless. But if you give money to everybody, the person will decide what to buy with the money. So it is easier to give money to people to exchange for what they want than giving rice physically to people. And again, if you are bringing things to distribute, it should be temporarily. You should make a way for the people to be able to come on their feet and produce the way they used to do before. Like you say, because of security, because of fuel problem, you are distributing food item. Why will you distribute food item for a complete year instead of attending to the security issues so that the farmers can go back to the farm? If farmers go back to the farm, we have maize, we have rice, we have other things that are coming from the farm that will supplement the importation. But if they cannot go, it means you keep on distributing. So how long are you going to distribute? Then if also this difference in money, like if you are running a vehicle that will take 5 hours to, I give example of my local government Ojo, and if the roads were good, it takes 1.5 hours. So if a vehicle is running for 5 hours and that vehicle could run for 1.5 hours, don't you think there will be fuel saving in running for 1.5 hours than in running for 5 hours? There will be fuel savings because the distance will be made short by good road and you will be there faster. Like, thank God the road from here to Abuja now takes between 3 and 4 hours. Before now, when the roads were very bad, it could take like 6 hours. And so the person who is spending 6 hours will spend more fuel than the person who is spending 4 hours. So that should be done also. The roads should be good. These are the things they should do to change the situation in the country.
All right, dear listener, we'll take a short break, and once we are back, our engagement will continue. Please don't go away. Kindly stay tuned. Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying tuned to iGate Radio. You are still listening to Perspectives, a current affairs program. We are discussing the hike in petrol prices and its scarcity. I have here in the studio an economist, Mr. Amity Ijo, who is leading the discussion. And a few minutes away, we open the telephone line for you to call in 0814 335 9292. 0814 335 9292. That is the number. And if you connect with us, we'd like to know your full name and where you are calling from. Please remember to move away from your radio once you're connected to the studio or turn down its volume. You can also send us an SMS to 0912 699 9404. 0912 699 9404. That line is also available for WhatsApp messages as well. Do include your name and where you are sending the message from. Log onto our website on www.agateradio.tv.com to listen to us. You may also download the Agate Radio and TV app from Google Play Store, and also on Radio Garden. We are there to serve you, and social media platforms we are available there. Later in the course of taking the course, we'll also be joined virtually by a public affairs analyst and economist commentator, Mr. Jide Ojo, who will join us from Abuja virtually. So these are the platforms through which you can listen to us. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, I want to appreciate this platform, and I want to greet
Thank you.
our admirable person, Mr. Amity Ijo.
Thank you. Hello. I'm sorry, your line is causing a lot of a distraction. Please call back. We have appeared that once you connect, move away from your radio, and so we can hear you. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Agate Radio.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Paul Apte. I'm calling from Nima.
Good to have you on Perspectives, Paul.
Good morning. The discussion in your studio is spot on the way forward in this crisis. I think the effect of all this is the handling that of the fuel subsidy removal that has caused this problem. Has made it worse. But fundamentally, the issue of insecurity that has made life so difficult for food production has made it near impossible to, in fact, those who are existing now is by God's grace, it's not by their so because even if you don't have money, you have something with this insecurity, then there's very little hope. Most of us wonder why this issue of insecurity is so difficult for the government to address. But going forward, that would be the only way to make all of these things a lot. We've been buying food at higher prices, but people didn't bother very much because at least when you came back, you ate. And the farmers were also able to sell their produce and get something to be able to afford for the fuel increases. If you follow the Abacha period, if you follow all the years of Buhari, every 3 months there was an fuel increment. And then that was the beginning of all these problems. The insecurity now setting, and you could not afford movement, you could not afford food. So going forward, the government should look into the issue of this insecurity.
Okay.
At least we should be able to eat. And for saying that we don't have food and we can't afford food in our country that is under our ground everywhere.
Okay.
To me, it beats that logic. I can't find that logic.
Okay, Paul. So you are saying even if fuel prices are high, but insecurity is addressed, your problem is solved, right?
At least we can go to the farms and get food.
Okay.
And then from the food, we will be able to counter the effect of whatever increases that are coming.
Okay.
But now you don't have, you can't produce food, you can't afford money in elsewhere. So how do you cope with all these increases?
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Insecurity should be addressed so that even if the fuel prices are high, people should afford to eat. Thank you for calling in. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay. 0814-335-9292. You're on, but we can't hear you. So, good morning. Welcome.
Able producer.
Good morning.
Yes, my name once again is No Ephraim. Calling you from Akburi, Logo 2.
Okay, good to have you join us, No Ephraim.
Yes. It's quite unfortunate. My regards to the guest in the studio.
Thank you.
It's quite unfortunate. The scarcity and hike in price of fuel is hinged as a result of the following some following factors. One, there is no holistic approach towards the revamping of our existing refineries. Neither are they building new ones. Dangote, under 2 years or a little more, had his own refinery. And that particular amount that has been used in revamping every year turnaround maintenance for our refineries is refusal to certify modular refineries and destruction of the existing modular refineries is another effect to this. If there were other refineries, the modular ones, those small ones that produce in small quantities, regulate them, and this will push us ahead. And again, you can look at it, most of our leaders allegedly have refineries outside this country, and they are using us as a base. They are using us as a business ground to sell their market. That is the reason why they will never allow our refineries to work. 3, corruption in the system. There is a lot of corruption in the system. That is what it has been leading to our refineries that have not been able to be revamped. There will be money budgeted for these programs, and then they divert it to personal accounts. 5, monopoly in the distribution of the oil in the distribution of oil in the oil sector. NNPCL, as the name may imply, are the sole distributors of anything oil in Nigeria. Open this thing out. Hello, are we together?
Yes.
Open this thing out. Let individuals participate in this thing. Break the monopoly chain. And there will be a better Nigeria tomorrow as far as oil is concerned.
Okay.
Now, my number 6 goes this way. Lack of truth in our leaders. We have been living on perpetual lies. We have never been told the truth. 2-3 days ago, the federal government came out to debunk the allegation that there will be increase in oil prices.
Yes.
They debunked it completely. In less than 48 hours, the prices rise. And Lokobiri came out again to tell us that. Lokobiri came out to tell us that they have no hand in it. NNPCL is a private entity. Who is fooling who?
All right. Thank you. Ephraim.
My last point goes like this.
Ephraim, we should conclude at this point. You have
Please. Our over dependence on the oil sector is another thing killing us. Let us open other channels.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our economy should not be oil dependent. Okay. That's Chena who and where are you reaching us from?
Uchenna is there. I come from Apalaka government.
Okay. Which part of Apa, Uchenna?
In the headquarters, Bokpo.
Okay. Uchenna, speak to us.
See, our leader is confused. Now, they talk about control price of food things in the market. And now, okay, see now, price of fuel is high in every day. Let's say now, if you are paying, let's say carry goods from Onitsha, you are paying 40,000 to Makodi. And now price here now, it can't be 50,000 naira from Chateau Macaulay now. Is it the price of goods will be the same? It cannot be the same because of high price of fuel. I'm just a laugh. The time I said may they control the price of food, other things in the market, I just a laugh because if the fuel not come down, nothing will come down because the price of fuel is too high to us. We are producing in Nigeria. And why our goods is still cost? For our own thing, fuel they buy 1,000, 1,002 for our own property. You know good. Our leader confused. Let them try to help us. We cannot buy a liter 1,000 naira, 1,002 for our own fuel. This is painful. Our leader come to do something. Not to packing our money, going outside, building hotels, building other things. We poor man is suffering for Nigeria for our own property. Please, make them help us and reduce our fuel price. It's too much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Otiena, thank you. Thank you very much. We feel your plight the same way every Nigerian is feeling it. We truly understand how you feel. Hello, good morning.
Okumos is calling back from North Bank.
Okay, Oku Moses, good to have you.
Hello.
Yes, you are on, Oku Moses. Hello.
Okumos is calling back. Okay. Dangote is a single man, and he's also a businessman, just like our Oga talk. Every businessman aim at profits, and so Dangote cannot be the hope of common man. Government is the hope of common man. They know where this problem lies, and so no decision is irrevocable. The oil subsidy, let him just try and revert it. If Tinubu is a mortal man like us, whatever decision he's making is also revisable. Let him revise it. Look at some of us, we are crying because at it stands, any moment from now, school will be resuming. How the children will return back to school is just like we don't know where to start from. And they said youth are the leader of tomorrow. These children, how are we going to train them with the hike of this fare? I remember when fare was at 65, 75. If I buy fare of 200 naira, it served me almost a complete week. Okay, you are going down to Wurukum, going down to other parts of Makurdi. Fare of 1,000 naira cannot even serve you. It's a pity. Let's just try. Let government try and do something about this. They know what is happening. They shouldn't be pretending to us. They shouldn't be depending on Dangote. If government as a whole cannot resolve the problem of Nigeria, it's not one man that will come and resolve it. So that is my take. Regards to everyone there in the studio, and especially Mr. Amity Ijo.
Thank you, Okumosis. Thank you. Thank you. 0814-335-9292. Nigerians are leashing their minds up like. Good morning. Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. Once you call and we have that very certain holdback effect, it may be difficult for us to communicate. Once again, once you connect, move away from your radio, turn down its volume. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, my name is Godwin Zegeya. I'm calling from Industrial Layout.
All right, good to have you join us, Godwin Zegeya.
Yes, I'm calling from Industrial Layout.
Okay, that's here in Makurdi, we know, right?
Nigeria should not over-depend on oil. Nigeria should move into agriculture too. Because the level our country is going now, nobody knows where the country will end. 2 days ago, there was something of hunger strike. People did strike. I think it's even worsening the situation. By then, fuel was 800 naira, 8 something. Now fuel is rose. This morning, somebody was telling me that I bought a liter 1,100. Nigeria should go into agriculture and forget about the issue of fuel. Fuel will not go down. That is how we'll continue crying every day. Because many of our leaders that are on top, they are not buying the fuel, so they are not feeling it. It's we, the common man, that we are suffering. And the issue of insecurity, Security, if we depend on government concerning security, we will not have it. We are the security of ourselves. If we see something, we have to say something.
Okay.
Government come to always support us in the terms of the issue of security. At times, if there are challenges in the village concerning the issue of bandit, before you call government to respond, it will take time for government. So we have to be the security of our own self.
Okay.
The only thing the government should give us the way, give us fertilizer to farm so that we can have enough food. If not, prices are rising up every day because of the issue of fuel. What will the common man do? Because the big people at their top, they are not buying those things. So they are not bothered. It's we that are bothered. So we should go into farming if we have the little opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, Godwin Zakaya, for your opinion. Godwin says the country should diversify into agriculture, but have we not been practicing agriculture? Maybe more dependent on oil. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Okay, you are now coming through 0814-335-9292. The SMS line is 0912-699-9404. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, Nefka Demian calling from Activist.
Demian who?
Nefka.
Okay, good to have you, Nefka Demian.
Yeah, it's really been a nice program.
Thank you.
This is a program that taught all Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Nefka.
Because when you check the level of the economy that Nigeria is having, you will discover that we are living, the layman, the common man is living about 10% of what is supposed to live on the economy. The 70,000 minimum wage these people have added onto what they are giving now as a salary now. You will discover that based on how the level of fuel is moving, you cannot even afford anything, because if you have a school fees, you have a medical care, and you are a layman, what are you supposed to do with that 70,000 as a salary? But they know what is the problem. I think because if Nigeria as a country cannot have a refinery, they are depending on one individual to make a refinery for them to make what is the main source of income of Nigeria. Is a scam. So it is time for us, the youth, to tell them the leader the truth, and they should know it and do the best for Nigerians if they have Nigeria at heart.
Okay. Thank you, Damian. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Getting the public refineries working is what. But when we get the public refineries working, will they address the situation? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, thank you, sir. My name is Joe Gundu. I'm calling from Sekumbe here in Yacho, in Makedi.
Okay, good to have you join us, Joe Gundu.
Yes, thank you so much. My contribution is that removal of fuel subsidy has come to stay, even though it is an injury to the people of Nigeria. But the people who are in position of authority will not see it, because at the federal government level there, they will go to the filling stations, turn the back of their vehicles, and the tanks will be filled up without paying a penny. The monthly amount of money they take home is in millions, if not in billions. So even when they go to the market, they will not feel the bad effect as we, the common people. The only advice I have for them is that they should remember there's a protest ahead, or there should be no protest.
You're mobilizing for protests.
I'm only advising them. This is the time.
Wait.
They should think of.
Yes,
I've heard you.
I've
heard you. Let me continue. Yes, I've reversed my statement.
Very well.
So this is the time they should think positively and reinstate some of their painful decisions that they are taking on Nigeria presently. Because as at yesterday, some of us started suffering the impact of increase in fuel commodity. So this is the time they should take positive thinking. If they are to take decision in this country, they should remember that there are rural people who are suffering somewhere. There are farmers elsewhere that are suffering. There are people who don't have anything to survive. If fuel subsidy has come to stay, so they should think of opening accounts for each and every individual who attain the age of 18 years, so that money, if you have any stipend or if you have anything, send that palliative directly into the account of those who attain the maturity age of 18 years in this country. If not, you can send 200 trucks of rice or whatsoever you are sending to the state governors, and whosoever you send such an item to, it will not reach we the poor people. So government should be involving ordinary people in their decision making, not just to sit down there and begin to make any decision. Nigeria is a producing country. When you talk of petroleum, what we are able to refine our fuel in this country? Okay. What is the problem that we didn't know?
Okay.
What is the problem?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
People are not sensitive to the plight of their people. That is the problem we're having in this country.
We understand you.
Because they live large, they travel abroad anytime they want in aircraft. You live in most exorbitant hotels. So they didn't know that people are suffering somewhere.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your opinion. We understand truly how every Nigerian may feel about this, but let's tame our emotions in a way that... Hello, good morning. I'm sorry if we have the holdback effect. It may be difficult for us to communicate, so the line is still open. You may try to call back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
My name is Godwin Bangayina, calling from Makodi.
Okay, good to have you, Godwin Bangayina.
This our problem of fuel subsidy. This is causing so much problem in our country here, because everybody now need money. You need the money to survive your life. You have children to school. But look, about fuel now, you cannot carry your child to school now. They are going to return back to school. Maybe on Monday they will be back to school. As you can see now, I just advise them that they should go back to work or they should go back to farming, because we're not having good people to help us now. In this country now, we have governors. There are so many people there that they're supposed to help us about this fuel problem. We are the people that have fuel in Nigeria. We that have fuel, we are suffering for something that we have. Could you imagine? You have something and you are still suffering for it.
Okay.
It's not possible. But what are they doing for it? They are not doing anything. They are doing nothing. So that will not help us.
Okay.
As for me, I don't have bike, but I used to travel from places, because my village is from Balong. I live in Balong, which is Paka. But I choose that fuel. There is no fuel now. I trek from Api. Could you imagine, in Api, Makodi here to my house, Paka? Even yesterday, day before yesterday, that on Monday, I came back from village.
Okay.
Why I go farming? I go and put soybeans and rice.
Thank you.
It was only trekking. I trek there and come back because I don't mind.
It's well. Thank
I
you.
don't say about fuel anymore now.
Thank you. We must conclude with you now. Thank you very much. We've now been joined virtually by Mr. Jide Ojo, who is a public affairs commentator and economic analyst, who is joining us on Perspectives from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Good morning, Mr. Jide Ojo.
Good morning, my brother.
Good to have you join us on Perspectives here on I Get Radio 95.5 Star FM Makodi.
My pleasure.
Okay, how is Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, this morning? The situation regarding the hike in petrol prices and its scarcity?
Well, it came to me as a surprise, I don't say it's out of insensitivity on the part of federal government that I do it. The reason I said this is not because I'm ignorant of the fact that PMS is being heavily subsidized. Particularly if you listen to news and industry experts, they will tell you that since last year, the landing cost of a liter of petrol has grown over 1,000 per liter. And government that the subsidy is gone. We know that the government is paying subsidy or whatever they want to call it, whether it's under recovery or whatever. But the truth eventually came out a few days ago, by the weekend, when there was a statement issued by NNPCL that $6 billion are being moved to oil suppliers. This means that Nigeria has been buying refined petroleum products on credit. Nation. Substantive Minister of Petroleum Resources, rather, is to find money to keep that subsidy for another 1 month. Started producing the PMS. Maybe the Port Harcourt refinery will also have commenced operations after the prolonged protracted turnaround maintenance. And the negotiation between the federal government team, that discussion will have been consummated, in which case that would now be what Dangote will use to sell to Nigerians. Unfortunately, if you listen to the interview, press statement, the interview that was granted by Dangote yesterday, it's obvious that sale of crude oil to Dangote in Naira is still has not been concluded. He said if everything is concluded within 1 or 2 days, that's when he was saying within 48 hours you can have this petrol in all our filling stations, because he is still waiting on the federal government team to conclude negotiation on the crude oil sale to him in Naira. How much do you want to sell to me in Naira? Then, of course, he will input all the element cost to now know how much he will be charging for his product. And we are in a catch-22 situation. Why did I say this? All our neighboring countries, from Cameroon to Equatorial Guinea to Chad, Niger, Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, they are all selling well above Nigeria's price. A friend of mine who lives in Ghana buys, as of last week, she bought fuel for equivalent of 1,350 in Ghana. In Benin Republic is well over 1,000, maybe 1,005. Likewise in Togo and all of them. So what Dangote has the yam and the knife, and that's why he called our bluff yesterday and said, if you fail to buy at the amount I'm willing to sell, then I will sell my product outside of Nigeria. Continue to go and import. How feasible is it for us to continue to import now when we are already worth $6 billion to our suppliers? So what I would have expected the president to do is to just have held fire for another 1 month, fast track this negotiation with Dangote, and subsidize the product from Dangote so that it is sold at par with whatever will be charged by NNPCL for the products that will be coming out of Port Harcourt refinery. I don't know whether I'm making sense to you, because the federal government holds the Port Harcourt refinery, so they can determine to sell at 200 naira per liter. They know that Port Harcourt cannot solve the energy need of Nigeria, because the consumption, what Nigeria needs is about 30 to 40 million liters per day, and what Port Harcourt will produce maybe is just a fraction of that. Then the other reason why I said the government should have found money to keep the prices at what it was before yesterday is that the CNG buses, we have started to see the distribution of the CNG buses. I recall that it was in the news that Oyo State government received 20 of such buses. And if we have all of the states having CNG buses, and we have been told that CNG buses deployment will reduce cost of transportation by 60%. It then means that if they have deployed the CNG buses, commuters will have transportation cheap, and that way the impact of the removal of fuel subsidy will not have been this harsh. And let me also tell us, even with the price adjustment that took place yesterday, the product is still being subsidized, because energy expert told us that the landing cost of a liter of PMS to WAF or Tinker 100 naira per liter. That is the landing cost. Now, when this product is shipped into the country, they are pumped into the tank farms of private individuals. That's those who are licensed to have tank farms, like Capital Oil, like Folawiyo, all of that. So these tank farms, when they receive this product from the Tinker or Apapa Wharf, they will not be the one to sell to IPMA members, that's independent petroleum marketers. That's where they will go and buy. Now, from the landing cost of about 1,300 naira per liter, by the time these tank farm owners are selling to the fuel marketers, that's the retail, those who have retail outlets, they will have put their own price on top. So it will end up being like, as at Lagos, as at the time they are buying in Lagos, trucking means the cost of transportation, because our pipelines have been vandalized. So this product that should have ordinarily been pumped into the pipelines will have been taken through to Ole Depot, Suleja Depot, and several other depots, Moseni and the rest.
Okay.
They cannot be pumped into those pipelines because those pipelines have been routinely vandalized. So what the last resort is to now convey this PMS from Lagos to the hinterland, and that means an additional cost of trucking. So that's why even at the adjusted price yesterday, this product is still being heavily subsidized.
Okay, so Mr. Jideojo, already the cost of living is high in the country. Is there any desirability why the NNPCL should adjust the price at this particular time, 855 naira per liter and around the 918 naira at the NNPCL, and other marketers selling it above 1,000 naira a liter in parts of the country, and the scarcity of it in the country?
So that's why I said the priorities were, there is, the government didn't get its priorities right. That's why I've been explaining to you on this program now that what government should have done is, even if it's to find additional $1 or $2 billion, to keep the price at what it was before yesterday, and use this 1 month period, that 1 month period of grace, to quickly complete the turnaround maintenance of Port Harcourt Refinery, to conclude negotiation with Dangote Refinery on how much the product will be sold to Dangote, the crude oil will be sold to Dangote in Naira, and then how much Dangote is expected to sell its products to Nigeria. That 1 month will have afforded them that opportunity. Number 3 is that 1 month should have also afforded the government opportunity to deploy massively the CNG buses that have been touted as a game changer. If you go and read the President's national broadcast on 4th of August during the End Back Governance protest, he did say that government is spending about 2 trillion to import fuel every month, and this 2 trillion will be saved by the time we deploy CNG. Now, this CNG, Anand Oyo State has gotten 20 buses. Maybe many other states have also gotten or will get. But this 1 month that I said they should have found money to keep the price at the amount that we were buying it before yesterday, will have afforded them opportunity to get the Port Harcourt refinery to come on stream, to complete negotiation with Dangote on how much his products they will sell crude oil to him and how much they expected him to sell the refined petroleum products to us. Then number 3, to deploy the CNG buses. That will have also been the 1 month of grace to now conclude the deployment, massive deployment, so that ordinary citizens in Makurdi, in Boko, in Otupo, in Otupa, they will be able to now commute at a very cheap price. Because once these CNG buses, we are told, it's cost effective, it will save the government 2 trillion naira every month. If they have been able to deploy that, and then they gradually phase out this subsidies, people will not notice much because there will have been alternatives to the PMS. But right now, what are the alternatives to PMS? We do not have, it's an inelastic demand because PMS is what we use to power our vehicles, to power our grinding machines, to power our engines, generators, and all of that. So it's an inelastic demand. Even if you don't have a car, you will still need it. Already we know that diesel has been deregulated from time immemorial. So diesel sells for about 1,200 to 1,300 naira per liter. So, but only very limited companies use diesel. Even diesel cars are not many on the highway. But the PMS that you know is the life wire of the economy. You could have done everything to keep the prices static for another 1 month, then fast track the negotiation with Dangote on the amount you want to sell crude oil to it and the amount you expected him to sell the refined petroleum products to Nigerians. Then also check with the Port Harcourt refinery. All those have they ticked all the boxes? When exactly can we expect it to start supplying products into the country?
Okay.
That will have also be another heartwarming news.
All right.
Then the CNG buses, if they are on the road already, people will have alternatives. So even if I don't want to use my car, I can go with public transport. So that would be cheaper for me to commit than to put my vehicle on the road.
Okay, before I let you go, Mr. Ojo, the Nigeria Labour Congress responded to this. The president of the Congress, Joe Ajero, issued a statement describing the government's move at this time as a betrayal, that they accepted the 70,000 naira new minimum wage on the basis that the pump price of petrol was not going to be increased. How do you react to this with this attendant situation?
You said what?
I mean, you listen to me. The Labour Congress described the increase in petrol price as a betrayal of trust on the part of federal government, that they accepted 70,000 naira new minimum wage on the basis that prices of petrol were not going to be increased at this time anymore, but it is coming into effect just at the time government promised. So is there any sincerity on the part of government?
Of course, there is no sincerity on the part of government, but I think Ajero and Osifo must have been very naive to have believed government that they were not going to increase the price, because even I could understand with Ajero. Ajero belongs to the Electricity Workers Union, so he may not know much about oil and gas sector. But Osifo works in the oil and gas sector. He's the former president of Tengasan, and I believe that he knows more he knows better on the issue around oil and gas. They should have known that government just wanted to calm their frame now to get them to agree to do 70,000 and boom, we do what they want to do. But yes, it's an act of betrayal on the part of government, but that's what government does. As a realist, I did not expect that price will remain what it is. Knowing what I know about the landing cost, ancillary cost, and because government was just being duplicitous, was just being clever by half by saying that there is no subsidy. We know, and Innocent Part has said repeatedly, this product the landing cost is 1,000 to 1,300, and you say there is no subsidy. So if I am buying at 850 in Abuja, then somebody is paying the difference that I should have paid. So it was an act of self-delusion on the part of Labour leaders to think government was going to keep that price at that amount. But they have very limited choice, as at that time they negotiated, because I think people were just tired of all of this prolonged negotiation. Don't forget that this minimum wage should have kicked in since April 15 or thereabouts. So, and they only concluded agreement in July. So people were already very expectant that at least let's have something. Our bread is better than none. And you could see that many state governments are still very cagey and they are not forthcoming in terms of setting up an implementation committee for them to take the minimum wage. In all of this, I think the President as substantive Minister of Petroleum Resources need to be more forthright with Nigeria to say this actually are the true position of things. This is what efforts they are doing. I said this severally in my opinion, in my commentary in the Punch newspaper, that the timing for the removal of subsidy was even wrong in the first place, and the house claiming that should have been done, the information the president ought to have had to make that decision, I don't think he has all of that information. Because even when Dangote Dangote Refinery was commissioned on 24th of May 2023, we all knew that it was already commissioned. It has not really fully completed the final phase. It was the nuts and bolts are still being tightened, and that's why it took about 7 to 8 months before it eventually started to produce even diesel and Gen 1 fuel. So what I'm saying is that government needs to be more forthright. The way things are now, they will have to start thinking of damage control, because people are really very angry, and I'm angry as well, because everyone is affected except you are able to steal money or you are making money through dubious means. For many of us who are honest living, who are living legit, it's not been very paying bills. Next week now, schools are going to resume, and children will be back to school, and how will the parents cope with it? Because whether you have a car to drop your children, or if you don't have a car, you have to pay for school bus. Just imagine how much schools will now increase the school bus fee even if they are not on school bus, if they have to take public transport, you can just imagine how much that will come to. So everyone is affected one way or the other. But nonetheless, I think when the president comes back from his globetrotting, he's currently in China. I don't know whether from China he will go to UN General Assembly in New York. But wherever and whenever he comes back, he needs to come and explain to us exactly why he did what he did at the time that he did. Knowing full well that things have not been put in sequential order. Because like I've tried to explain, the sequential order I had expected him to follow is to continue to subsidize that PMS for another 1 month max, and then conclude agreements with Dangote on the currency exchange, how much to sell crude oil to him.
Okay.
For instance, if you give concession to Dangote, if you sell below the cost price to Dangote, I mean the crude oil, it definitely will reciprocate by selling below the cost price for him. Also, the refined petroleum products. But if you say this is the prevailing dollar rate, and he also is a businessman, he has to make profit. And like I said, we are in a cul-de-sac. If we say to buy, he has ready-made customers. He has readily available customers who will be willing to just buy from him in West African sub-region.
Okay.
So we will continue. What will then happen is that we will continue to go abroad to look for scarce foreign exchange we don't have to import these products. Otherwise, they will continue to be scarcity across the country.
Okay, Jide Ojo is a public affairs commentator and a newspaper columnist. He joined us virtually from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. We thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us on Perspectives, Mr. Ojo.
It's a pleasure, Nat. Thanks for having me. And keep safe.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a great day too. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We'll take a few more calls and we'll come back to draw our concluding thoughts here in the studio. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Perspectives.
I want to talk waiting to happen for Nigeria.
Please talk briefly. May we know your name? May we know your name before you talk to us?
My name is Okocha. My name is Okocha.
Okocha who?
Mercedes.
Okay, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Lostoki Junction.
Okay.
Waiting to happen for Nigeria now is too much. Even though when they work, some women come to beg everybody. They beg. They not supposed to beg. You know good. So when I call them, me, if you are home or
okay,
they go to women call.
Hello, Okocha. We are discussing I'm sorry, Okocha, that's not our subject matter. So maybe when we have other programs that can entertain that, you will say no problem. Thank you very much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well done.
Thank you for joining us on Perspectives.
Yeah, my name is Abeka Tengu Banaba.
Okay, good to have you here. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you in my daddy's flat in Benue State.
We're interested in knowing your location in Benue State, not really in your daddy's flat.
Okay,
anyway.
It's opposite Hotel Tamari in New Kanshu layout.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to. It should be encouragement, you know. I'm a student at Benue State University, final year. So I wrote project and it was successful, but when they sent me my results, I have 13 carryover.
Hello, that is not related to this. Are you aware of the subject we are discussing on this program? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Please, when you call into a program, be sure to know the subject line before you call in, because when you
good morning once again.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is No Ephraim once again.
Very brief, No Ephraim, because this.
Yes, I'll be brief.
Yes, just 30
30
seconds.
Jide Ojo is somebody I've respected so much. He's an eye opener to some of us for some of these things that are said. That if these things are not put in place and on time, a lot of us will suffer a lot of things. There will be little or no human and food security. There will be increase in food prices, increase in transport, medical bills, and there will be high inflation, or do I say stagflation, because there will be inflation with a stagnated economy and complicated exchange rate. I rest my case. Good morning.
Thank you, No. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Ijo, I'll be back to you in just a moment. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome.
Yes, you are speaking with Tekula Haji from Batia.
Okay, good to have you join us, Haji.
Yes. You know, the issue you are speaking right now in the studio is very interesting. It's yesterday I carry my bike, I go Boko. As I'm going, I enter one filling station. I bought fuel. It's 915 naira. When I was coming back, just yesterday, the same filling station, I bought fuel 1,015 naira. I say, how come? They say, this is how come. How it comes. Imagine, where Nigeria is going. Well, I drop my bike right now in my house and advising the Nigerians, let's come back to agriculture. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Haji. Thank you very much. We should come back to agriculture. And that will be the last call we'll take because our time is no longer there. A few messages and then we'll draw a concluding thoughts. Good morning, Nathaniel, your guest in the studio. Since the instant announcement of the removal of petrol subsidy by the government, life has not remained the same with Nigerians, as many people cannot even eat 2 times a day. Politicians should stop being selfish and do something reasonable about this bad situation rather than playing pranks with us. Vincent call from Watertown. Thank you, Vincent, for your message. Another one here says, petroleum is our endowment to the nation. If the government can make it rehabilitation available through the refinery to control prices, that'll be fine. Isaac Utswa from EA Ingoma. Okay, Isaac, thank you for your message. Good day, investigative presenter in the studio. In democracy, if people were not carried along, there will be problem. What do I mean? The government at the national is now carrying key pressure and human rights groups along who can enlist justice even if palliatives reach to their people or not. They don't care. Finally, let the government at the center open up their strategies on subsidy removal to Nigerians in a press conference. Otherwise, one day, labor unions and youth will take measures that will not be fine. Minimize pressure on the escalation of classical democracy. Godwin Yaju from Wajimba in Goma. Okay, Godwin, thank you for your message. From our WhatsApp box here, a few summary will make. The federal government is not about to lower the price or return the subsidy on PMS. However, the federal government has alternatively subsidized electricity to all users by 50%, has removed all taxes on food production and transportation and importation, has removed taxes from pharmaceutical products like drugs, etc. The fuel subsidy war, like the president said, is a war between the cabals, and there will be no retreat, no surrender until one of them gives up. More so, people should turn to their state governors, local government chairmen, and hold them accountable for palliatives and state government subsidies on state government enterprises, if any. Already subsidized. Okay, that message is too long. Dan Atai from Abuja, he says he's watching us from Facebook. Thank you, Dan. Good morning, Nathaniel, your guest. This increase will affect inflation, the cost of food and services, and people will now begin to scramble to survive. President Tinubu's government has shown so much insensitivity to the plight of Nigerians. Instead of increasing prices, they should address the corruption in the oil industry so that Nigerians can breathe. There is corruption in the oil industry, so for us to increase it is unacceptable, unjustifiable, and totally condemnable. We cannot accept this continuous arbitrary increment in fuel price. Ko Ephraim from Naka. All right, Ko, thank you. Just some we're able to take because our time is no longer there. Mr. Joe,
yes,
you listened to your co-discussant on the program, Jide Ojo, who shared thoughts with us virtually. Are there some points that you differ with him very briefly, and then we'll give our concluding words in the next 2 minutes?
I agree with Mr. Jide Ojo very well and completely. The only place I have a difference is with one contributor from Nima, Mr. Godwin, who said that we should be security of ourselves, that we should be the people to protect ourselves. It is very difficult to protect ourselves. The government social contract is that we will sacrifice our rights so that the government will protect us. When we are going to farm or anywhere, we should be conscious that there is a power that is governing the state and that power is protecting us, that nobody will come from somewhere to harm us. If you try to protect yourself, maybe you have a gun and somebody has a bomb. How can you protect yourself? He will blow you. So that power of government is a very necessary power for the existence of any society. When God knew that there will be that power on the road, it was jungle justice. So he asked Moses that if anybody removes somebody's ear, tell other people to remove that person's ear. And they call it eye for an eye, nose for nose, hand for hand. Here, we cannot do that again because we have a government in place to protect us. So the government should move quickly to work on security. That is a very big problem that will minus every other thing that they are trying to do.
Okay, and your concluding words on the hike in petrol prices, it has come to stay. What measures should we devise to cope? Now, the immediate ones our government should also take to bring down the situation Nigerians are facing, cost of living.
Just as Mr. Jide advised, the government should negotiate quickly with Dangote so that they will know the price that they are exchanging crude to him, and then he will also know how much he's selling the PMS to the public. That will help us to bring the price down. And then another thing is that if there is a possibility of overhauling the management of NNPCL, because it's like the people that are there, I don't know whether they understand what they are doing or not. As I told you when we started, how can you come and say you made a profit of $3 trillion and then you are owing somebody $6.7 billion, and because of that you can no longer afford to bring fuel to the country? What they have declared is that Nigeria is broke and we can no longer afford to transact business with our partners to bring fuel to us. There should be a change in management of NNPC.
Okay, there should be a change in the management of NNPC, and you think that will address the situation in the immediate?
It is likely not. In fact, if you say immediate, you see there are people who have experience, who are waiting, who are somewhere, who are not called to do this work. If you call them to do this work, maybe their thinking will be different from the thinking of the people that are in charge presently, and there will be a change.
All right, and that will be a fine place for us to leave it on today's edition of Perspectives, which we discussed the hike in petrol prices and its scarcity. I must appreciate very sincerely an economist, a former manager, audits and control with BIPC, Mr. Amity Ijo. We thank you very much, sir, for coming on Perspectives.
Welcome.
And the public affairs commentator who joined us virtually, Mr. Jide Ojo, we are grateful to him. And to you, dear listener, thank you for being a part of today's edition. We couldn't take all your calls for want of time. Please bear with us. My name is Nathaniel Nogo. Perspectives will come your way again Friday with another fresh edition. Have yourself a great Wednesday, and we hope that government should respond to the plight of citizens. Thank you and goodbye.